your calls, guys. Let's talk about the what you wanted to mention with the. I think you want. What was it you wanted to talk about? The banker wars.
Oh, I
Or
totally forgot about that. Yeah. I wanted to make the point of how there was just recently. It was either Friday or Saturday. There was from Fox Business that J.P. Morgan dealing with Ukraine. That
I have some screenshots from that article. Go ahead. Go ahead, Big Boat.
They reached an agreement, a $20 to $30 billion agreement to provide private capital for Ukrainian infrastructure. And that was my point the last time I was here. The bankers will fund the war. They will break a country down, and they will build that country up. And it's a cycle. It's just a cycle.
I skimmed over this article that you sent me. This one, this J.P. Morgan reaches agreement with Ukraine's Zelensky, and they put two Y's because they're kissing up, I think, on rebuilding infrastructure, which I say is a communist buzzword. Infrastructure.
Yes. Yeah.
And they presented him a Patriots jersey, New England Patriots, like football.
Football. Yeah.
American football. They gave him a Patriots jersey.
That's so weird, but yeah.
It's a Fox Business article out just a few days ago, I think.
Right.
Like you said.
Yeah. I found that so interesting. Go ahead.
Me too, because you mentioned that the bankers somehow make money off of these wars and fund the wars, and they're also, in this case, funding the so-called recovery.
Yeah. That's part of it.
And it makes... Suddenly, it started to come to click.
Yeah.
I realized, you actually can make money or exploit the situation to make money.
For sure.
From these things, because that's desperation.
Yeah.
And in times of desperation, people can become very enterprising and make value.
Oh, you're saying it that way. Okay. Yeah.
People create value.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you invest in them, then you get that value back from them because they owe you now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. They caused the turmoil. However, J.P. Morgan was involved with Russia, Ukraine. However they
were involved?
For sure. The bankers.
Right.
However they were involved.
No, come on. Anyway.
They were involved. They may have however they were involved.
Yeah.
That whatever they got in return, their kickback in return for that led to this. That's their kickback. They're going to place these, as it says, private capital. So they're going to build up these whoever made, whether they put a McDonald's in this area or a Chick-fil-A,
right.
I'm just randomly saying things.
Yeah.
Places.
Because they can go to their clients and say, hey, you want to help us invest in Ukraine?
Right. Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to.
And as they build, that'll bring more value, and so they're getting more money.
Yeah, that $20 to $30 billion that
everybody wins.
Everybody wins in this,
except for the people who got killed.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're gonna make 10 times as much as that $30 billion that they're raising to help out Ukraine.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that's part of that's their part in the game. They could be the wide receiver in the football game, but that's what their benefit is for it.
So I think you might have said, and other people have said, a lot of wars, or maybe all wars, are bankers' wars.
Yeah.
Including, like, say, the so-called Civil War. And they had they had what they called reconstruction after the so-called Civil War.
Right.
In the South, in America, because they burned the place to the ground in many places.
Scorched earth almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Sherman, I guess.
Sherman.
And I don't know the history that much, but I could see that, I suppose, like, there might have been some of that type of shenanigans.
Yeah.
That's happening in Ukraine now, down there.
Yeah. Just different.
Right.
Different,
How would you have said it? Because I said, though, desperate people are creative and enterprising and find ways to build value because they have to.
Yeah.
Out of necessity.
I was going to say two things. One was, I thought you were going to say desperate times lead for desperate actions.
Right.
In that way. But when you kept going, it's similar to the people during the Chinese virus, how they would come up with all different types of things, ways to, be creative, and
Right.
because they had to stay home or they lost their job, just
Yeah.
creative ways of to make money.
Yeah.
You see certain industries rise, certain hobbies rise,
Right. While others fall.
yeah. So that's one of the desperate times. So people were,
Right.
they didn't know what to do. Some people had no idea what was going on, what to do, how to handle it. But some people found a way to generate some type of money.
Yeah. And a lot of inventions and technology it grows with these
Yeah.
different challenges that come
Right,
up.
yeah.
Wars
Right.
and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Cold weather. I guess that's why the whites are more inventive. Planning ahead. Stuff like that.
Right,
That's what they say.
Yeah. I mean, that caused those times in those areas like that. They would cause you to, create this. Oh, I need this building with such and such, or
Right.
however, this transportation mode to be covered, or whatever. That's what happens. You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave him a Patriots jersey.
That's odd. When I seen that part, I didn't even read that part.
Right.
I just
Right. You just saw them involved in that.
Right. Yeah. Like this. Is
To me,
weird.
I pick up on the the kissing up to the pop culture.
Right.
How involved this Zelensky guy is with the
Man,
pop culture,
yeah.
which is smart because these
Right.
evil people are all about that globo homo
Right.
trendy world life.
Yeah.
He has all the stars and big companies kissing up to him and
And
pretending he's a hero.
the contradiction to it, which is crazy, is that our president, Trump, everybody was crazy about him, of
I know.
course, and now, they kick him to the
And
side.
he wasn't
but
he didn't bring us into any new wars.
at all.
Yeah.
At all.
That I know of.
Yeah, no. Just situations, they happened. He took action on him, and
Right.
that was it. There's no going in and infiltrating and doing all this other stuff,
Yeah.
to get involved, intervening. But Trump is the opposite of being popular, so popular with everyone pre-2015
I
or
know.
2016, and now he's, scum of the
Pariah.
earth. Yeah. But
Terrible.
this guy is so popular. He's, Zelensky is so popular and or always in the news, and I don't know. It's odd. It's odd how they treat
Yeah.
him.
Popular with the trendy,
Yeah.
elitist types.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They come and shake hands and hug and
Making appearances at different awards shows.
yeah. He's
So
a
corny,
celebrity,
but
yeah.
yet you don't blame him because he's
Right.
If you had the opportunity to push that for quote unquote for your country,
Right.
but it's not really for his country. It's for him and for power, for the people in power who are not dying.
Right.
Because the more this war drags on, is enabled by America and NATO and all that, the more of his people are going to die, I think, in my mind.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with that. I can definitely agree with
Like,
that.
if they surrendered, would they still be genocided? And do you think?
I
Do you
doubt
think
it.
there's any validity to that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
J.P. Morgan.
Putin just would like
He would
to
take
have
that
that,
and then
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
okay, this is it.
Yeah. That's how I see it. I don't see
That's
it.
how I see it, too.
Yeah.
Because he's not a dummy who is going to just keep on taking over all these other
Right.
neighboring countries or
Right.
all of Ukraine.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think.
I don't think so either. Could be wrong, but I
Yeah.
don't think that. Yeah.
Interesting times.
Yeah, like you say, J.P. Morgan. Yeah, the bankers are always there, and the war is a racket. That's another. There was a.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that book? Smedley Butler.
No, I
He's
haven't
a-
heard that. I
he's
may
a
have heard it,
Marine
but
from
it
years
didn't
ago.
stick.
Yeah, I think he was a general. Smedley Butler from. He was like the most highly decorated Marine ever, and he wrote a book called "War is a Racket," and is basically touching upon
Yeah.
that Eisenhower type military industrial complex type stuff. That
Eisenhower warned against it, even though he was
Yeah.
Did he partly build it? Because he warned against it in his exit
His
speech.
exit speech, yeah, because I was reading the other day during the Iran, like the Shah issue with in the 50s, where he was involved with ousting their president at the time.
Oh.
And pre of course his exit, but
When
he
he
was
was-
still while he was president, that he was involved in ousting or allowing the CIA to oust the sitting president.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I like Eisenhower though.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't. I basically like a lot of these people, but now I'm like
Right.
questioning a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have no idea really.
Mm-hmm.